If I marry this old billionaire now, he's already in his 80s, it's just a matter of a few years before he dies. And when he does, everything he owns will be mine, Diana muttered, a slow smile creeping onto her face as she lounged on the couch, eyes full of dreams. Diana had always believed she was destined for luxury, but not through hard work or skill. No, not her. She believed the key to wealth was a rich man, a man who would carry her like an egg, pay her bills, dress her in designer labels, and fly her to exotic places. The idea of learning a skill made her sick. Why should I stress myself? She would often say. There are men who have been working for decades just so I can enjoy. That's their job. In their small flat in Lagos, Diana's younger sister, Emily, tried again and again to get her to see reason. Emily was 2 years younger but far more responsible. She was learning hairdressing, worked part-time at a salon, cleaned the house, bought groceries with her small earnings, and cooked their meals. Diana never lifted a finger. Depending on men like this will ruin you, Emily said one evening, stirring a pot of soup. Diana rolled her eyes dramatically, lying across the couch with her phone in hand, scrolling through Instagram. Why are you always so dramatic now, lady? Look at this, she said, turning her phone around to show a picture of a girl she followed. The girl wore a Gucci dress and posed in front of a luxury car. Do you think she's suffering? No. Men are meant to take care of women. Emily sighed. You don't know her story, Diana. Maybe she works. Maybe she has a business. Please, Diana scoffed. Stop preaching. You sound like Mama. Just say you're jealous. Emily said nothing more. She had tried too many times. Diana's best friend Tasha was just like her, but worse. If Diana was looking for encouragement, Tasha always had it ready. The two of them would spend their weekends at expensive malls, trying on clothes they couldn't afford, taking photos for social media without buying anything. But their real hunting ground was the clubs. Every Friday night, hair laid, nails done, short dresses, and loud perfume. They weren't there to dance. They were there to hunt for rich men. That night, at the club's VIP lounge, they caught the attention of a group of older men. These men weren't the usual young flashy types. They were mature, reserved, and clearly wealthy. Their graying hair and expensive watches speaks volume. One of them, tall, dark, and clearly in his 80s, kept glancing at their table. Eventually, he stood up and walked over with a calm but confident air. Good evening, ladies, he said, his voice deep but gentle. May I join you? Tasha gave him a cold glance and looked away. Diana smiled politely. Of course. Have a seat. The man sat down slowly, placing his glass of whiskey on the table. I couldn't help but notice you two beautiful ladies. My name is Mr. Lawson. Tasha was uninterested, checking her phone and texting furiously. Diana leaned closer to the man, still smiling. Well, it's lovely to meet you, Mr. Lawson. I'm Diana, and this is my best friend, Tasha. After a few minutes, the man leaned slightly toward Tasha. Would you mind if I got your number? I'd love to take you out to dinner. Tasha nearly choked on her drink. I don't think so, sir. I mean, you're older. The man smiled gently and stood up. No worries, young lady. It was worth asking. Have a great evening. As he walked away, Diana grabbed Tasha's arm. Are you mad? That's our jackpot. Tasha wrinkled her nose. But Diana, the man is old. He could be your grandfather. And that's exactly the point, Diana whispered fiercely. Do you think he's going to be dragging you around? He just wants company. And he's rich, Tasha. Look at his shoes, those were Italian leather. But he's old. Old and rich. And do you know what happens with old rich men? They write you into their will, Diana said, wide-eyed. He's going to give you money, cars, maybe even a house. You can still date whoever you want on the side. Tasha giggled. You're insane. No, I'm smart, Diana replied. I'm giving him your number. What? Diana. Relax. I'll smooth it over. You'll thank me when you're driving a Porsche. That night, Diana convinced the old man to take Tasha's number. And after a few minutes, she returned with a triumphant grin. He's expecting your call tomorrow, she whispered. Days passed, and Tasha kept ignoring Mr. Lawson's calls. Diana's thoughts kept drifting back to him. She couldn't get over how calm and confident he was, most importantly, how much wealth he seems to possess. She couldn't understand why her friend was throwing away such a golden opportunity. Later that day, she invited Tasha over for wine and gossip. "So," Diana began casually, "you and that sugar grandpa, are you finally talking?" Tasha rolled her eyes. "Diana, I told you I'm not interested. That man has been calling me, yes, but I just ignore it. His name is, what was it again? Henry Lawson or something." Diana's hand froze midair. "Henry Lawson," she repeated slowly. "Yeah, why? You're acting like you've heard of him before." "Nothing," Diana said, waving it off. The name sounds familiar." But her heart was racing. That night, as soon as Tasha left, Diana grabbed her phone and typed Henry Lawson into Google. Within seconds, search results flooded her screen. Henry Lawson, a South African mining magnate, with a net worth of 5.2 billion rand. Photos of him popped up wearing a suit and tie at business conferences and charity events. Her jaw dropped. "Yo! This man is a whole billionaire. And Tasha just left him hanging? Ha! This is my man now." The next day, she visited Tasha with wine and snacks. When Tasha went to the bathroom, leaving her phone on the couch, Diana quickly memorized Mr. Lawson's number from the call log. That night, alone in her bedroom, Diana dialed the number. "Hello," came the deep, familiar voice. "Hi, good evening. Is this Mr. Henry Lawson?" she said in her sweetest voice. "Yes, speaking. Who's this?" "It's Diana. We met the other night at the club. I was with Tasha." There was a pause. "Oh, I remember you. Tasha's friend, right?" "Yes," Diana giggled softly. "I hope you don't mind me reaching out. I felt like I should have been the one talking to you that night. This is unexpected but not unwelcome. You're a bold one." "I just believe in chasing what I want," she said. "I like that. Would you like to have dinner with me tomorrow night?" "I'd love to." From that moment, her life began to change. After just 2 weeks of dating, Henry surprised her with a brand new BMW parked outside her flat. "What?" Emily shouted when she saw it. "Diana, whose car is this?" "It's mine," Diana said smugly. "My man bought it." "Your man? The one from the club? That old man?" "Don't disrespect him," Diana said defensively. "He's a billionaire. He takes care of me." Diana was now living her dream. Designer clothes, expensive bags, spa treatments, hotel getaways. Henry gave her an allowance that made her forget every worry she'd ever had. But she hid everything from Tasha, telling small lies whenever they met. "This dress? Oh, I got it on sale." "Car? No, it's just a rental from work." She didn't want to share her jackpot, not this time. "Have you heard from that Henry guy again?" Tasha asked one day. Diana shook her head casually. "Nah. Maybe he gave up. Old men don't have time for games." "He's mine now," she thought to herself. Diana's new life was like something out of a magazine. Every morning, she'd sip imported coffee while scrolling through Instagram, her feed now filled with luxury spa visits, yacht trips, and high-end brunches. But while her lifestyle flourished, her friendships withered. Tasha noticed immediately. She tried messaging her, but they were unanswered. Her calls went to voicemail. When they were supposed to meet at clubs, Diana never showed up. The truth was simple: Diana no longer needed Tasha. Now that she had her billionaire, she had no reason to share anything. One evening, as she sat beside Henry on the balcony of his Santon penthouse, he suddenly turned to her. "I have something to ask you," he said gently. He pulled out a small velvet box and opened it. Inside was a massive diamond ring. "Diana, would you marry me?" She gasped. "Yes," she beamed. "Yes, Henry. 1,000 times yes." But deep inside, she wasn't thinking about love. He's in his 80s. Surely he doesn't have long. Once he's gone, everything will be mine. The wedding was planned quietly. Diana kept everything secret, no Instagram posts, no tweets, not even a WhatsApp status. Only family and a wedding planner knew. Tasha didn't. But secrets have a way of crawling into the light. One afternoon, Tasha ran into a mutual friend at a salon. "Did you hear?" the friend said excitedly. "Diana's getting married. And guess who the groom is? That old man from the club, Mr. Lawson." Tasha's face dropped. That evening, she stormed into Diana's apartment without knocking. "So this is the new you, huh?" Tasha said coldly. "Tasha, what are you doing here? You ignore my messages, my calls, stop hanging out with me, and now I find out you're marrying Henry Lawson? You're overreacting. That man was calling me, Diana, and you knew. And you didn't want him." Diana yelled back. "You literally said he was too old. That doesn't give you the right to go behind my back. You stole him." "I didn't steal anything. You rejected him. I just took an opportunity." "You're a snake," Tasha spat. "A selfish, greedy snake. Just admit it, you're jealous." "Jealous? Of being a glorified nursemaid to an 80-year-old man while waiting for him to die. I sleep very well in my king-sized bed in Santon," Diana snapped, "while you're still begging for Uber money. You really think money makes you better than everyone? It does when I don't have to share it with someone who would have wasted it." The argument escalated until they were grabbing each other's hair, knocking over furniture, screaming and fighting like wild animals. "I never want to see your face again," Tasha hissed as she stormed out. "Good. Stay away from me, poor people bring bad luck." The first year of marriage was everything Diana had dreamed of. She flew first class to Dubai, Paris, Seychelles. Her Instagram feed glittered with luxury. When she found out she was pregnant, Henry wept with joy. "A son," he said during the scan. "A blessing at my old age." Diana smiled. "He's our heir. Everything Henry owns will pass to him, and eventually to me." But fate had different plans. On Henry's 86th birthday, during a lavish garden party, he suddenly collapsed beside the cake table. Within minutes, he was in an ambulance, rushed to the hospital. The doctors said it was age, fatigue, stress. But he wasn't getting better. By the third day, he could barely speak. By the fourth, he stopped eating. On the fifth day, he called for her. "Baby," she whispered, taking his frail hand. "I need to tell you something, Diana," he said, voice raspy. "Don't talk too much, okay? You'll get better." "No," he cut her off. Listen." She leaned closer, her brows knitting. "There's something you need to know before it's too late." He paused, gathering strength. 10 years ago, I lost everything. My businesses crashed. I was in debt. My family left me. I had nothing. Diana blinked. "But you're one of the richest men in the country." "Not anymore," he said weakly. "Not really. Not for long." "What are you talking about?" "I did something desperate. Something dark. I went to a Sangoma, a powerful traditional healer and spiritual guide. I begged for wealth. He offered me a deal, money beyond my dreams. But with a cost." Diana's heart began racing. "What cost?" He looked at her with watery eyes. 10 years. That's all I was given. 10 years of unlimited wealth. After that, I would die. And when I die, everything disappears. The cars. The houses. The bank accounts. Everything. Diana stared at him, speechless. "No. I didn't think I'd live this long. But when I met you, I wanted to feel love again, even if it was borrowed time." "You're lying." "I was desperate." "You're telling me that once you die, there's nothing?" He nodded slowly, tears rolling down his face. "All this time," she gasped, "I thought I was securing my future. I thought I was setting up my son, and now you're telling me there's no inheritance, no property, no empire." "I wanted to tell you sooner, but you looked so happy." "You're selfish. You're evil. You lied to me. I gave you my body. I gave you a child. I gave up my youth thinking I was locking down a lifetime of wealth. I'm sorry." "You're not sorry. You're just dying, and scared." She grabbed her purse and stormed out, her heels clicking loudly against the tiles. She leaned against her SUV at the parking lot and let out a scream. 3 days later, she received a call from the hospital.
Mrs. Lawson.
I'm sorry. Your husband didn't make it. The glass slipped from her hand and shattered on the floor.
But even through the shock, a thought crept in.
Now it begins, the wealth, the inheritance.
She was wrong. Dead wrong.
Within hours, everything began to unravel. She tried to sell Henry's houses, but the documents were fake. She went to the bank to cash checks, the accounts didn't exist. She visited his warehouses, they were burning to the ground. When she returned to their mansion, she found it ransacked.
Everything stolen.
Then the police arrived with demolition papers. The land was government property, declared illegal since 2002. 7 days later, bulldozers destroyed the house. She stood there with her baby boy, watching everything turn to dust. She had no money, no friends, no family willing to help. All the people she used to show off to had blocked her. There was only one person left, Tasha. She arrived at Tasha's flat just before sunset, clutching her baby close to her chest. Her designer clothes were torn, her wig was frizzy, and her designer handbag torn at the strap.
She knocked gently.
Tasha, she said when the door opened.
Tasha stood frozen.
Diana. Tears sprang to Diana's eyes. I have nowhere else to go. Please. Tasha's eyes trailed down to the baby, then back to Diana's worn-out face. You look like you've been dragged through hell.
I have.
Silence stretched between them.
Then Tasha slowly stepped aside.
Come in. Diana slid off the couch and knelt on the floor, her voice cracking. Please. Forgive me. I was wrong, Tasha. So wrong. Forgive you.
Tasha asked bitterly.
You stole from me. You betrayed me. You watched me chase cheap sugar daddies while you ate caviar with Henry.
You ignored my messages.
You blocked me. And now you want forgiveness.
I know. I deserve every word.
But I'm begging you. Please.
For the sake of my child.
I was blinded. I thought I was smart. I thought wealth was the answer. I chased a shortcut and ended up at the bottom.
Tasha's gaze dropped to the baby.
Her heart softened, not for Diana, but for the innocent child caught in his mother's mess. You hurt me, Diana. Deeply. But I won't let this child suffer because of your choices.
You mean?
I can stay. You can stay. But hear me well, this is not a clubhouse. I don't do runs anymore. I've changed. My life has changed. Tasha walked to a small table where a laptop sat open. I work now. I do remote customer service for a global tech company. I answer emails, handle complaints, help customers. It's not glamorous, but it's stable. I can pay my rent, feed myself, and sleep peacefully.
Diana looked stunned.
You? Working a 9 to 5? Yes. Me. Because I got tired of waking up in strange beds. Tired of playing the game for crumbs while the real wealth builders were out there creating value.
I don't even know where to begin. I have no skills, Tasha.
I never bothered to learn anything.
Then learn now.
You have a child now.
It's not about you anymore. You think I started off knowing tech?
I took free courses online.
I studied at night.
I worked part-time at a call center to get experience. You have to be willing to change. I want to.
I'm tired. Tired of looking over my shoulder. Tired of chasing illusions.
Tired of wearing fake smiles while dying inside.
Then get serious. You can stay here. But you will clean. You will help with food.
And you will sign up for online courses. No more sugar daddies. No more clubs. It's time to rebuild your life. Brick by brick. Thank you, Tasha. I promise. I won't let you down.
Start by bathing that baby.
He smells like dried milk and stress. Diana let out a small laugh, the first in weeks. Later that night, after putting her son to sleep, she sat next to Tasha, who was typing on her laptop. You really seem happy, Diana said quietly. I am. Peace of mind is better than champagne with anxiety. I used to think money was everything.
But it slipped through my fingers like water.
I had no character, no plan, just greed. And now, I'm starting from scratch.
That's the thing about shortcuts, Tasha said without looking up. They feel fast at first,
But they always lead you off the road. Diana looked at her old friend with new eyes, not as a fellow party girl, but as a woman who had grown, who had learned.
Now it was her turn. She walked over to her son and stroked his cheek. "For you," she whispered. "I'll build a new path.
No more easy roads. No more lies.